Hey everyone, this is Jeff, and just sending another update, just continue to talk about what the story and what God is doing in our family and the community here at Seaside. Now, I'm standing right now in the Seaside building, and we call this our lower building. Now, some people, they would consider this the church. They would consider this place to be the church. And although it has a lot of the physical representations and a lot of the physical kind of pictures of what the church is about, this is not Seaside Church. Right now, it's just an empty shell of a building where there's some chairs. We have about 100 chairs here. We have a stage. We have sound equipment. And we have pictures on the wall. We have all sorts of things going on. But this is not the church. And for Seaside, that's really been key to some of our principles of how we've established this community. That we are a community of gathered people. What that means is that sometimes communities are what we call sent communities. So that means they come to church buildings like this, they consider this church, they meet together, and then they get charged up and say, go reach your neighbors. And we actually are a community that emphasizes the gathering part. So this is a gathering point where people can come and weep with those who weep and rejoice with those who rejoice, and to sing songs together and to be reminded of the truth of who God is, to celebrate communion and baptism. It's a place where people can gather together and meet one another after their weeks of living out there. We're gathering people from communities to this place so that they can celebrate what God is doing in their lives, whether it be hard or it be good. Now this building, this place was originally just a shell. It was formerly a pottery barn. It was formerly a metal shop. It's been a bunch of different things, not like a pottery barn like the store, but like actually where they make pottery. So it's been a variety of things. There's been oil, kind of gas, functionally, a metal shop, all these different things in here. And when we came upon this building, the teams that was here at the time, we knew that this was going to be one of those places that God was going to work in. But it was going to take a lot of work. And at that time, there was only about 30 people who were part of the Seaside community. And so as we went to that community and we said, hey, here is what God is doing. We believe that this place, this building has a real key cornerstone sort of location driving force that can really impact the surrounding kind of neighborhoods. We really think this is the place for us. Those people rallied and gave out of their own means, gave out of giving to yard sales, gave out of their own time, and they're the ones that built this building out. It used to just be a white shell that had hanging fluorescent lights, and if I could, we'll probably try to post some pictures in here, but it was a mess. And we didn't really know exactly how God would work. And the family was here first that started this community, the Swans family. Chris had a picture of what he wanted to do and drew it out. And with some friends, they diagrammed it. And we started to look at that place. And as we worked together as a community, we saw things erected and people giving to everything here, because all this was done by people that were just here sacrificially, these 30 people. And what they were building was a legacy, a picture of what God was going to do in the future. And they could not see it from where they were necessarily. They just knew that they were called, and they knew that they were supposed to respond to who God was calling them to be in this community. And so as we built it out, we've seen change in this building. We've seen just as we've grown and families have moved on and new families have come in and jobs and everything else, we've seen this community dynamically change. But this building in and of itself has stayed fairly the same. And so as we look at Kauai, as we look at what we're going to do in Kauai, what we're excited about is to see what God might do with a new community of people. Now, it doesn't matter how many people are there initially, because we've seen what God can do with very little. And we know that God can make the most out of what we consider not very much. But the beauty of what God can do is if He has people that are willing to be servants, willing to give out of what they have, out of their means, living in an Acts sort of lifestyle, we've seen God multiply that work and bless it. Now, what that means for us as we head into Kauai and we look at this is that we want to do some of the same patterns. That's why I'm here. I want to talk about how the patterns that we've established in this place, it's just a place, is that we want to build a community of people that can gather, that are already sent, living life, who are already living out in their neighborhoods and in their communities, talking about Jesus, part of normal patterns of life. And where one moment you're talking about the sports, the next moment you're talking about how Jesus has impacted your life, and it's just part of the normal, what some places call rhythms and patterns of what we do. And in thinking that way, we want to be able to go, we remember what it was like. We remember what it was like to pour out our lives. And we also remember what it was like to need help in that. And again, as we are updating and sending out these videos, we do have purpose in this. We not only want you to consider it with us and remember the story of what God has done here, we also want to ask, how can you be part of the story of what God's going to do in Kauai? Now, for some of you, that's going to require sacrificial life. It's going to require that you give out of things that you may not know where it's going to come from. It may require that you invest in prayer and petition before God in ways that maybe you've never considered investing before. For some of you, and we've talked with some of you, it may require an investment of giving above and beyond, maybe selling everything and moving with us to someplace like that, although we know that's way out for some folks. But we want you to be part of a team. We want you to consider how you can invest in this team, in this group, being part of the group of folks that want to see not just a building established, but communities established. Not just a place where people can just gather and sing songs, but a place where people can rejoice, where people can weep, where people can live life together, where people can celebrate the work that God is doing in their lives. We want to be a community that has those sort of people involved. And if you're that sort of person, or you want to step out into a role of being that sort of person, we'd love to have you join us. So there's still a link. We've had some people respond to the link below. We'd love to have some of your information, your address, that sort of thing, so we can send you more information on. And you don't have to necessarily say, hey, we're going to contribute financially. You could say, hey, we want to just pledge to pray, or just keep us in the loop. We want to know what's going on. We're asking God some of those questions. But if you are interested in that, please do sign up. Let us know. We're trying to set some financial and personal goals as we head through the next 9 months, and God leads us forward. And maybe that's just not your thing, the form, you don't have enough time, then shoot us an email. Shoot us an email with maybe your name, address, or just let us know that you're involved in the process, because we'd love to hear from you so we can put you down and we can know, hey, these are some of our people, part of our core team. They're going to go out with us. We love you guys. We're thankful for you. We just pray that you'll continue to be with us as we're heading into this new journey. Hope you guys are having a great day. All right, see you later.